Shemai, in this video we are going to talk about Daniel James, the famous Welsh poet, bardd and hymn writer.
Daniel James was born on 23rd of January 1848 and lived in Llangavelach Road, Treboeth, Swansea.
Daniel James's childhood, plentyndod, was cut short and he started work at age 13 as a labourer. Through experience, profiad and hard work, gwaith caled, he became a puddler and was employed at Landor Tinplate Works. Alongside this demanding physical work, Daniel mastered the difficulty of Welsh poetry, Barddoniaeth Gymraeg. He was taught by D.W. Thomas and he later assumed the bardic name Goirosydd.
Daniel was a religious and humble man. He attended Mynydd Bach Chapel regularly, where his church friends were very supportive, cefnogol iawn of his writing.
One morning he woke up to the sound of hymns from the nearby chapel. He noticed that the congregation were not singing amen. At the end of the hymns, immediately he was inspired to write the poem Ble Mai Amen, which means blessed amen. He was often to be found sitting in his special chair, Cadair Arbenig, in the snug of the King's Head, Treboeth, composing verses for anyone who would buy him a beer. His chair is now housed at Mynydd Bach.
When Landor Tinplate Works closed in 1889, Daniel James was unemployed and needed to find other employment to support his large family, Teulu Mawr.
The family Teulu moved to Blaengarw in the Cynon Valleys, where he worked as a miner at Glor for 20 years.
He wrote beautiful poetry, Barddoniaeth Brydferth, and he was so prolific that there were 3 books, Tri Llyfr, of his work published.
It was in Cyniadau Goirosydd that Calon Lan was published, but it is not known where it was actually written. It had been suggested that Daniel wrote the words on the back of a cigarette packet in Blaengarw.
The Blaengarw Hotel is rumoured to have been the site of the song's first public performance, and words to Calon Lan have been sung over the years to 4 different tunes. The most well known is by the composer John Hughes.
Calon Lan was one of the most popular hymns sung during the rivalry of 1904 to 1905.
Mining took its toll on his health, and in 1916, at the age of 68, he was given the job Swydd as a cemetery caretaker in Mountain Ash, where he stayed until he returned to Morriston.
He ended his days in Swansea, Abertawe, and died on March 11, 1920. He is buried at his beloved Mynydd Bach Chapel.
The Calon Lan Centre is based at Mynydd Bach Chapel and aims to maintain and encourage an understanding of our local heritage.
The main aim of the organisation is to give communities a sense of belonging and identity using the history of the local area, Hanes Adel Leol, and the story of Calon Lan to bring people together.
In 2013, work began on an animated film of his life. The project is a collaboration between the Treboeth History Group, Swansea University, and several local primary schools.
In February 2018, a group of local residents in Treboeth gathered a planned commemorative event to mark the 100 years since the death of Daniel James in March 2020.
This meeting formed the basis for the creation of the Calon Lan Society, which is dedicated to promoting the hymn Amen and those involved in composing it.
Calon Lan remains an important part of Wales culture, diwylliant Cymru, today and is often referred to as the country's second national anthem.
Its sentiments echo the finest Christian principles, that a pure heart is finer than any material wealth.
Calon Lan is one of the most loved of all the popular Welsh hymns from the golden age of Welsh non-conformity.
It has been part of the singing repertoire of so many Welsh men and women, whether or not they spoke their native tongue Mamiaith.
We hope you have learnt about Daniel James and his famous hymn Calon Lan.
Diolch am oelio. Thanks for watching.
Hwyl!